What's up, you guys? It's Levi here. One thing that absolutely drives me crazy is that there's websites out there that are still requiring people to answer account security questions to help you secure your account, or in some cases, to be able to recover your account with just those questions. The problem with this is most of these security questions that are out there are super easy, and they can be looked up on the interwebs. And this allows a pirate to guess those questions and hack into your account. So today I'll be talking about how to fill out those account recovery questions so that you don't have to have your account hacked because your questions were too easy to guess, and a hacker, or what we like to call pirates, can search for them easily on the internet and hack you. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Alright, so what tipped off this idea is I was walking through a friend trying to set up a Fidelity account. We're just going to call that friend Mr. T. Anyway, Fidelity is an investing account that allows you to invest in stocks, bonds, your retirement accounts, IRAs, things like that. And Mr. T brought up the fact that he was being required to set up security questions. Both of us were like, why are we still in this world where we have to set up security questions? And for a financial website, nonetheless. You know, a website where people invest thousands upon thousands of dollars, if not millions upon millions of dollars. So here are some of the questions that Fidelity asks on their website for their account security questions. And I've seen from experience myself that other websites have very similar security questions. If you do a simple Facebook search on somebody, you can find a lot of these answers, or a LinkedIn search on Instagram, Twitter. The social media platforms just like that can reveal so much information. For instance, the first employer question that Fidelity has. LinkedIn is a pretty easy place to find that information because most people publicly post all of that information about themselves to help themselves get a job and network with other people. Maternal grandma is another question. Facebook could be an easy place to find that information, or a genealogy website could find that information about someone as well, right? You could use a genealogy website to find that information out about somebody. The question, a best friend's B-Day. Well, first of all, you have to find a best friend. Well, the way that people post on Instagram nowadays, I'm sure that there's going to be pictures out there of people and their best friends. If you see a consistent picture where somebody's taking a picture with somebody all the time and they look a similar age range, they're probably their best friend, right? Or one of their best friends, and that's one of the possible answers. So then once you figure out who that best friend is, then you just have to go on Facebook or social media and find out when their birthday is. And a lot of people list that information publicly, and then it's not very hard to find. Otherwise, you could search through public posts and things like that to try to figure out when their birthday is. The favorite restaurant question, you look at someone's social media and see what restaurants they've been to, what type of food they like. On Facebook, you can see the restaurants that they do like, and you can narrow it down by that. And if they're constantly posting about a certain type of food, that helps you narrow it down even more if you have that list of restaurants. Get the point here, these questions are not hard to figure out because of the power of the internet. This goes to show the importance of locking down your social media accounts too. Do not be listing that information out publicly on your social media accounts. If possible, avoid listing that information at all. I know it's hard because you want your friends to wish you a happy birthday and then smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, but you have to ask yourself, is it worth jeopardizing your account security for that? I mean, if it's for smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm, then maybe it's probably worth it, right? All right, so not only is social media a hot spot for finding this information, security question answers have also been found in data breaches. Have you ever used Yahoo in 2013 or prior? Well, they were breached in 2013, and some of the users' security questions and answers were stolen by the pirates. And guess what? The pirates can use that information to hack your account, right? If your Yahoo answers and questions are the same ones that you use now, those can be used against you. Also, and you cannot tell me that Yahoo is the only site that has had these security questions hacked through a data breach, considering there have been 9.6 billion with a B accounts that have shown up in the HaveIBeenPwned.com database that tracks the data breaches out there on the internet. You cannot tell me that some of those 9.6 billion with a B accounts did not have their security questions stolen as well. So, what is the best way to fill out your account recovery questions, knowing that most of that information can be found out on the interwebs? Well, I suggest treating those security questions like you would treat your passwords. Set them to something that has no relation to that security question itself, and yet is something that you could still remember if you do not have a password manager. I personally recommend using a password manager to track all of these security questions that you're setting, because then you can just set something super random and you don't have to remember all these things. They're just in that password manager. We will get back to that later for those of you that are using password managers. For those that are not using password managers, first of all, get a password manager. It's 2020. You need one now. Watch my videos down below on everything that you need to know about what a password manager is, why you need one, and how to set a password manager up on every single major popular device that is out there right now. But I know some of you guys are still going to refuse to do that. So what do you do if you don't have a password manager? What's an example of what you could set for a security question, such as, what is your mother's maiden name? A really good one would be, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, right? I mean, it's a very good phrase. It has no relation to that question at all. And it's super memorable because it's something that you guys should be doing, right? And it's something that the pirate isn't typically going to guess, because they're going to be trying your actual mother's name, right? All right, another example of what you could set for a question is, what is your best friend's birthday? Well, I highly suggest not using a question like this in the first place if you have a choice, because the choices are limited for this question, especially if you have drop downs where it's only the day and the month. There's only 366 options that you can pick from, and it makes it really easy for a pirate to narrow down those options. But I highly recommend, if you are going to use an option like this, you're setting a date that is not relevant to your best friend's birthday, right? So those are some examples of how you should be setting security questions if you aren't using a password manager. I highly advise as well, if possible, you're setting each security question with a different random password that you have created that you can remember, because it will make it harder for the attacker to guess those security questions if they're all different. Now, I understand this is super hard to do if you don't have a password manager, and that's one of the reasons why you should get a password manager, right? Because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to make them hard to guess and remember those. The key thing here is by not setting those security questions to what the actual answers are, it makes it very difficult for the attackers to be able to guess those questions, because guess what? They're probably going to try to answer those actual questions and not guess what you put, and not even think that you put something else for those questions. And even if you did put something else for those questions, they're probably going to move on to an easier target, because why go after somebody that's hard when they can find the next person that's easy, right? Security is all about making things as difficult as possible so that the pirate moves on to the next target that's an easier target. All right, so now if you are using a password manager, congrats, you listened to me, or you listened to somebody else. Congrats for being up with the times in 2020. What I recommend if you're using a password manager is you go in that password manager and generate a random password for each and every single security question and every website that you're using security questions on, and then store those security questions and answers in your password manager. All right, so go in to your password manager and generate your security answer as if it was a password for the security question that you're trying to answer, and have it be as random and as long as possible. And then make sure that you're setting random and long security question answers for each and every website that you're using, and each and every single question that you're answering. And then store those security questions and answers in that password vault. This is setting hard security questions on steroids, because it requires an extreme amount of effort for an attacker to break those security questions because they're essentially passwords, right? And I can almost guarantee if you set your security questions like that, a pirate is probably never going to guess those security questions. Heck, it would probably be harder to break that password of yours than it would be to break those account recovery questions to break into your account, right? And hack that account. Finally, one more thing to mention. If you can avoid using these security questions at all, I would highly, highly recommend it. Finally, one more note to mention: try to avoid using account security questions. If you don't have to use account security questions to protect your account, try using something like Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, LastPass Authenticator, where you could take a picture of a QR code with your phone, enter them inside of those apps, and then they generate random passwords, and then you just type in that password when you try to go and recover your account or sign into your account. Or you can also set up being able to get texted or getting emailed to help recover your account or sign into your account. I feel that those options are better than setting crappy account recovery questions. But if you have to use account recovery questions, make sure you're not setting the answers to what you're answering. Like your mother's name, don't actually put your real mother's name. Generate something completely different, and that will make it much harder for that pirate to be able to guess that answer to your question. So, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. Make sure that you're sharing it to all of your friends and family that are out there, and make sure that you're smashing that like button, hitting the subscribe button, and hitting that notification bell to promote this video out on YouTube so more people like you can see this content and help protect themselves from getting hacked because they're setting crappy account recovery questions that can be looked up on the interwebs. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a fantastic day.